Hi, welcome to LSB Feasters Radio Channel, where we keep great radio from the past alive. And today, we're going to WLS in Chicago and John Records Landecker. Landecker, I mean, he's a radio legend. His radio career spans over 50 years. He's done it all. He's worked in Michigan. He's worked in Philadelphia, WIBG, CFTR, Toronto, Power 108 in Cleveland, and of course, several stations in Chicago, including WLS multiple times, WLUP, the Loop, G106, WCKG, WJMK, and today on 720 WGN. It's kind of cool just being able to hear his body of work. He's got so much creativity, and he's just so much fun to listen to. So if you're ready, let's go back with John Records Landecker on 89 WLS Chicago.
About the Russians.
Yes, that's right.
You think we should back down from them?
I didn't say it, back down. Worried and back down, to me in my dictionary, don't carry the same meaning at all, do they?
Well, it depends how you look at it.
I don't think I've ever read a...
Looks like this when you're running.
You know what? I would think that no matter what your confrontation, if you don't at least have some sense of not fear, that's not the operative word, knowledge of your opponent. I mean, if you walk in blind, you're done.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm now, worried or afraid or scared or, I mean, there's a whole different...
Well, put it this way, running away. I've heard on there, you know, like they say, United States went in there and they went in there like, you know, I don't know, like they made the big mistake.
Who did?
I don't know, United States.
How?
I don't know, I just was hearing it on there. Different ones saying like Gaddafi will retaliate, and which he probably will, but you can't run from it.
Yeah, but I don't think anybody has said that we're running from it, though, sir. I didn't pick that up on any phone call that we had.
Oh, I don't know. Just hearing about it, like saying...
You don't think we should talk about it?
Yeah, but do you think the United States is in the right? That's the main thing. You know, like people saying in there, I heard in there, like, is the United States in the right or they're in the wrong?
We didn't ask that question.
Oh, I'm asking it.
Well, what do you think?
I think they're in the right. I think they should go for it.
And in what sense?
Well, you can't run away from them.
No, what do you mean? What do you mean go for it?
Oh, what I mean, if you back down from a little country like that, then you got Russia just like saying, well, United States, they run from them, they'll run from us. What do you think?
Well, I don't think you have I don't think you have an example of anybody running from anybody tonight, as a matter of fact. I think you've got the exact opposite, and I don't think I've heard anyone suggest that the United States should stick its tail between its legs and go fading off into the distance and let Gaddafi and Libya have their way.
What do you think about the whole thing, man?
And I'm sort of surprised that you picked that up.
Okay, then what do you think about the whole thing?
I think it scares me.
It scares me, too.
Well, okay.
But if you was president, what would you do?
Oh, man. Hey, I only work 7 to 11 WLS AM 89. I am not the president of the United States. What would I do? I don't know. First of all, I don't know what the president knows.
Neither do I.
Well, then, then that's supposedly the reason that a person is elected to run the country, is that you trust him to use the information that he receives in a manner that will benefit you and I.
Or just say overnight someone elected you, and what would you do?
Oh, I don't have an answer for that. That's too tough a spot to put me in, sir.
Would you do what they did then?
It depends. It's a whole question of knowing what they know.
Well, that's true, too. But
it's...
Okay, put it this way. Hearing what you heard, of course, I heard different radio stations, too. And going by what I heard...
Where are you calling from?
Huh?
Where are you calling from?
Barnesville, Ohio.
Mm-hmm.
You probably don't know where it's at, but...
I know where Ohio's at.
Little hick town, Ohio, but we can get news back here, but...
Hey, you know what? It's the grassroots. This is what America's about here.
Right.
That's right. So your opinion counts, sir.
Well, what I'm getting at, I don't know, I just don't think that Libya, a little place like that, and what he was saying about Russia, like President Reagan saying about they told him.
Yes.
Why should they have to tell him?
I'll tell you why they should have to tell him, because it's Russia that's got the guns that we don't want to go up against. That's why.
But why should you have to back down from them?
Because we want to live.
Well,
because you don't want to because you don't want to participate in a nuclear nightmare. I think that's a pretty good reason.
Well, I don't either, but
well, don't you understand? Well, to me anyway, it seems that, and I said this earlier, that it's not so much what Gaddafi can only do so much, and he can he can reply in a terrorist scenario, but it's informing Russia, which has the historical perspective of being our opponents, I believe, is probably a pretty decent move. To not go around their back, because they're the people who have the firepower to make this all an urban renewal project.
Yeah, I see what you're saying, but the United States have to answer to them all the time.
No, I think I don't think we're answering to Russia. I think we're just sort of including them in the plan so that we don't have to deal with them in the future in this particular issue. And we have yet to hear from what they have to say, so who knows? Listen, I'm going to move on to some other callers, though, but I appreciate your calling, and thanks for listening.
Yeah.
All right, good night. WLS, you're on the air. Hello.
Hello, John.
Yeah.
How you doing?
All right.
I was wondering, I heard it earlier on your phone calls about the Libyans shooting some Bobby in London. I remember reading about it in the paper, okay?
Yeah.
And I never heard anything said that when he got back to Libya, he was hung for that, okay?
Well, I don't think Libya has the track record of revealing their internal
well, I read it on paper, okay?
Comings and goings, or the Libyan justice system, if those two terms aren't exactly, if those two terms are compatible. I don't know.
Well, okay. One other thing is that Israel, they went to war with Lebanon, and it cost them tons of bucks, okay?
And lives.
Well, okay, well, not that many lives. They, maybe a couple hundred, okay, compared to what they inflicted, okay? But the thing of it is that they ran out of money doing it. They were really going whole. So now the way I see it is they want to bring the United States in it because they can't afford it no more. Yet the United States keeps giving them billions of dollars.
Wait. You're saying that this whole situation in Libya is something that Israel is doing?
All right, look at it like this. Now, they had a television show. I read it in the paper today. It had to do with Israel and the Palestinians, and they boycotted the television.
Wait a minute.
The media gave in to them.
Wait a minute. Didn't you see the pictures of the Pope today in the paper?
Yeah, but I'm talking about the media here in the United States. What I'm talking about. I'm not talking about Rome. I'm talking about here in the United States. Okay.
Okay.
That there was 6 major networks that gave in to the pressure of the Jewish people.
Oh, I'm not going to get into
their
that.
lobby.
No. You're opening up a whole different area here, which, first of all, I disagree with you on, and second of all, I don't think is applicable to this situation, and third of all, I think even Gaddafi would probably say, "What in the world are you talking about?" So I'm just going to move on to a different call. I don't want to get off into that. That's a whole different ball of wax.
It's part of it. It's part of the Middle East. No matter what way you look at it, it's part of the Middle East.
But we're not talking about necessarily a Middle East thing right now. We're talking about the United States and Libya. We're talking Ronald Reagan and Muammar Gaddafi. I'm not going to open this up into.
John,
I'm not going to make this an anti-Semitism thing.
John. Well, no. 1 second. Excuse me. Is that what I'm saying is that Israeli, their rate of inflation is so high because of that Lebanon war, they can't afford to get in this again. So they're going to draw the United States in it.
Why bring them into this at all? I don't understand it.
Didn't you read right in the paper where that one guy, the head of the Jewish Defense League, was saying kill Gaddafi?
Yes, I did. He said that here in Chicago.
All right. So it's right, that's part of it right there, pulling the United States into it.
He was responding to a question as to, I don't want to even start on this. This is a very sensitive issue for lots of people, and I'm not prepared, nor do I even pretend to be prepared to discuss that on the air tonight. So
All right, John, one more thing, please.
I don't even want to get into it.
Wait, John?
Yeah,
John?
you're on.
Okay, Harry Truman, when he was president, he said when
you know what? Wait, I don't want to do it. I just don't want to do it. I'm sorry for cutting you off, but I'm not going to get into that, and I don't want to try to go back and get into a Harry Truman thing on what we're talking about. I understand that you have feelings about that, and there are tons of feelings on that particular area, and it's all real sensitive, and I don't want to have to deal with it whatsoever. So that's it on that one. I'm sorry, that's it. I don't feel like I've cut somebody off, but that's just the way it's going on that one. Okay? Well, I wish I could go someplace where there weren't any problems. I'm taking a small break here, and I'm collecting my thoughts and myself, and we'll be back. It's WLS at 9:45.
America's music station, WLS.
AM 89 WLS, and So Far Away. That's Dire Straits. Chip! Yo, Chip, come on back here. I'm missing commercials. Don't worry about the Libyan embassy. It doesn't exist anymore. Okay? Come here. Because I'm not losing it, but I'm out of... my organization factor here is dropping quickly. And I need to find these commercials. And you're the guy to do it. 9:49 at WLS. Radar weather for tonight. Turning colder, occasional rain developing. Here, I'm looking for these two.
Okay.
All right? And I don't see them here. But then, the phone activity is so intense, I might have just missed them.
No, I screwed up.
That's okay, Chip. We forgive you. Tonight, turning colder with occasional rain developing. Tomorrow, cloudy and cold with periods of rain, maybe turning to wet snow. Low tonight, 38. High tomorrow, 40. 34 at the lake, 39 at Midway, and 39 at O'Hare. There's two there. You got the other one?
Yeah, right here.
Okay, we'll be back. You're on the phones at 591-8900. It's a busy night, and we'll be right back. Don't go away.
Fellow voters, here's an election we can all sink our teeth into. It's time to vote for the perfect cheeseburger. Now you can elect the cheeseburger of your choice. The cheddar burger, the Swiss burger, Colby, Monster. Shop by your participating grocery store. It's going on right now. And cast your vote for the perfect cheeseburger. Sponsored by the American Dairy Association.
An outstretched hand is all that it takes. M&M's chocolate candies light up that face. M&M's will always bring a smile. All the world loves M&M's. Pure milk chocolate joy for everyone. You can brighten the day with a special friend when you pour on the M&M's. The milk chocolate melts in your mouth, not in your hand. And all the world loves M&M's.
Hello. We're back on the air here. Hold on a second. Hold on. It's 9:51 now. Well, what the heck? Why not?
Okay.
He was on the other night. Let's put him on
I made
again.
a note of it. I work in promotion. We'll be done.
Dad, you there? You're on the air.
Hello.
Hi. How are you?
Fine. How are you?
You're on the air.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes, that's good.
Okay. It's another edition of Landecker and Landecker here at WLS. And now you say that
What's the exact question?
why we can't get through to the Libyan embassy in London.
Oh, there isn't any.
That's a really good reason why we can't get through, then, isn't it? Yeah.
The British government closed to the Libyan people, what they call People's Bureau, which is the Libyan term for Libyan embassy, after a British police woman was killed by a shot from the Libyan embassy during a demonstration in front of Libyan embassy. That was quite a few months ago.
Yeah, that incident was referred to earlier, but it was not put together the fact that they closed that embassy down.
Yes.
Well, it would have been a very
It was a good idea.
yeah, but
How about in Paris? We could get a hold of the Paris
Well, I don't. It's who knows. But the point is though that also that it was Thatcher gave permission for the planes tonight to leave, or yesterday, or whatever the timetable is, to go and make the military intervention. She gave them specific information to use the bases in England for this particular mission. So it made somewhat. It was somewhat then the next step to try to get a hold of the embassy there in London. But but I didn't realize that they had closed it down.
Yeah.
But we have experts on the staff, and now we know.
Good.
Thanks, Dave. I'll see you this weekend.
Great. Looking forward to it.
All right.
Enjoy the program.
You better. Thanks, Dad.
Right.
Good night.
Good night, John.
Good night. Yeah. WLS, you're on the air. Hello.
Hi, how you doing there? You guys actually answered these things.
Pardon me?
You guys actually answered these phones.
Yes, sir.
It's a Christmas tree tonight.
Yeah. We are, they're hot tonight, too. Plus, it's a little different departure for us, so...
Good deal.
We're learning as we go.
Alrighty, as for this Libyan thing, I think they ought to get that guy in Barnville, Ohio there.
And send him over. Yeah. Well...
But I think it's great that they finally put a foot down on this terrorism thing. To tell you the truth, that guy that was in the Vietnam War that's disabled and everything, more power to him.
Yeah, no kidding.
I'd fight for America for him, too. He had to pay a price. I'd be willing to pay him back, so...
Well, thank you for your call.
This is a good deal.
Right.
Keep up the good work, and too bad you couldn't get through to Libya.
That's okay.
You should have played a Miller Made in America commercial. That would have...
We had the national anthem and bombs dropping. I think that would have gotten the message across.
Crack open a cold one there.
Yeah. Thanks for calling.
All righty.
Good night. WLS, you're on the air. Hello.
Oh, me?
Yeah, you.
All right. Hi, John.
How are you?
All right. I was just, Gaddafi thing, he's like, were they Muslim? I mean, that's a Muslim land, like...
Right, it's a sect. It's a religious fundamental sect.
Is he in control of his sect, and he's therefore in control of the country?
Right.
He might lose face at a loss like this, like you say earlier.
Well, wait a minute, though. I mean, it takes... First of all, once you start getting into the religious aspects of the Middle East, you're leaving me behind. And
I'm a Christian.
And I don't want to start getting into whether or not I know this or I know that, because when I get into areas that I don't know anything about, I don't want to come on the air and pretend like I do.
Okay,
or start tap dancing. But the point is, though, losing face, now that's a whole different deal. And we're still in the situation here now where we have no idea of what the retaliation aspects of this are, what the reactions of it are. Do we? I mean, I don't know what they are yet.
You can't.
And you cannot say what these people are going to do.
Well, now on the United States side, we have on July 4th a big celebration, and they're making it a double celebration with a statue in New York Harbor, right?
Of course, it's they're putting back together the Statue of Liberty.
Well, I have this here quote. Their idols are silver and gold, the work of men's hands. They have mouths, but they speak not. Eyes have they, but they see not. They that make them are like unto them. So is everyone that trusteth in them. That's Psalm 115.
I didn't think it was Lee Iacocca.
Well, that worries me because
Oh, I see what you're
there's only a few problems around.
I see what you're saying. So this could be a focal point for retaliation, is what you're saying.
Well, I wouldn't want to save it myself because it describes what it is already, and being a Christian or a Muslim or a Jew, we do not believe in idols. And it's just a technical problem. And like Mount Rushmore is figures in stone, and then we have a Jefferson statue and a Lincoln statue that's bigger than me. And it's stone.
Yeah.
Rather than the person or their writings or their actions. So those are like, it's overemphasized.
So the symbolism...
They could be taken away.
Yeah,
we just saw the other day the Ten Commandments where the Pharaoh had images of himself, and then they had the golden calf. Well, in Chicago, there were 2 stone cattle. One of them was stolen just the other day. Now, nobody was worshiping or anything, but what the hell? What is that?
You've lost me. I don't know. But I thank you.
Well, thanks.
Thanks for your call.
You're right.
Good night. WLS, good evening. You're on the air. Hello.
Hey, John. How you doing?
All right.
I have a comment to make, and maybe you can help me out. I was monitoring, I have a shortwave radio, and I was monitoring BBC, and they said on March 28th, the U.S. government, excuse me, had information that there would be a strike in Germany on April 5th. My question is, now they didn't know where it would be on April 5th, but they knew it would be against American servicemen. Why didn't they ground or keep these servicemen in the bases instead of letting them out and having one serviceman killed in a discotheque? I have a lot of feelings toward that. Their feeling was that maybe they wanted the Libyans to do something so we can go in there to provoke this action. If we would have kept our servicemen on the bases, there'd be no real reason to go in with these airstrikes.
Well, the things that I understood about that particular situation was, first of all, that they did make an attempt to keep American servicemen from going out, and they were late. Like 15 minutes was the time period that I read in the paper. And then Reagan went on, not tonight, but this is the previous address to the country over the whole line of death deal, where he said that they were not looking for an excuse to go in there and do something to Gaddafi, but if they found out who was holding the smoking gun, that he had said for years that once they found out and they could pinpoint who was responsible for terrorism, they would take appropriate action. So I guess that's what happened.
Have you been, well, of course you haven't, but have you been able to catch some of the TV coverage?
No. The thing about this whole deal is that it's sort of the one-man band here, and it's me and Chip, and Renee was here earlier, but she's left.
She's in the bunker right now.
Yeah, and we're just sort of like flying with it, and we're relying on you people as much as anybody to let us know what's going on. And the things that come in here, we put out to you, and the things that you get there, you put into us, and we all sort of like network, I guess.
Well, I was watching Cable News Network, and they had one of their correspondents in Libya by telephone. And during his little speech, what he did was he stuck his telephone out the window and you can catch the gunfire.
Oh, we've heard that, yeah.
Right, well, what happened was they pulled the power in the, at the Grand Hotel, which all the journalists are kept. And all of a sudden he's in darkness, and as he's talking, troops surrounded the hotel. And they marched into the lobby, and they went up the floors. And they asked him, well, how do you feel right now? He goes, well, I'm scared as I ever could be.
You bet.
And they go, well, hey, we'll get back to you, thanks. And that was it. And that kind of scared me to think of the little regard that they have toward fellow journalists. I'm like, hey, I hope someone's talking to this guy while he's off the air. I don't know.
Yeah, how about Edwin R. Murrow in World War II when he was reporting from London during the
bombs
Blitz?
were dropping, yeah.
So, I mean, hey, they go into that situation knowing full well what the results might be, and they're there doing a job. They're there to inform the listeners, and I'm sure if they know the results, Well,
the whole idea of journalists in hotspots around the world is absolutely nothing new. I mean, what was the movie The Killing Fields, which was, last year? Which is a whole examination of the things that can happen when you take on that kind of responsibility for your job. I mean, that's I guess the cliche is that comes with the territory. Well, listen, we're going to move on here. I got to take a break. I appreciate your call. Thanks for calling.
Hey, thank you.
Have a nice night.
You too.
All right, we're going to break for a moment. We'll be back.